Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is showing you guys the new-ish Ohuhu Honolulu S series of alcohol markers. These were sent to me by Ohuhu. They contacted me a couple of months ago now, asked if they could send this set. They've sent me the 60 colour set. I know they do have a couple of different pack sizes, I believe, with their new cute logo that pops up. These are the brush and the new soft chisel that they've brought out, and this is the new award-winning soft chisel tape. They are the first to introduce this, adding greater flexibility and control. It says it's a 1 to 4 millimeter tip designed for versatile line techniques, and obviously they're also using their new updated colour coding system, and I will go through that a little bit. Sets wise, what I managed to find is they seem to do a 24 set, a 48 set, and then this 60 set. And obviously they're available on their Ohuhu website, and I have seen them on Amazon as well. Information wise, it's kind of all I've got for you guys really. I've been playing with them for a while, you know, checking them out. I do like to have had them for a little while before I do these videos, so that's probably why they're a little bit later than maybe expected. I've swatched them and we'll show you, and I'll show you what you get in the kit. So they come in this little fabric Ohuhu bag. You guys, if you watch my channel for any period of time, know that I use pretty much exclusively Ohuhu markers, and I really like the brush markers. And I like their brush markers. Some of mine have the barrel tip, and a lot of mine have the small nib as well, but my whole set at one end is the brush because I do only really use those ends. I am coming at alcohol markers from kind of a definite base colouring kind of angle. I tend to just use them underneath my pencils. I've got the big set. I think it's about 320 markers, maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. I think it's because I have some of the kits that have the extra colours in. I have it all sat on the side of my big desk in those big black the trays that Is It Nouveau used to make. I've got a big stack of those, and to be honest, they're the only stack of markers I particularly own and use, so I do like the Ohuhu. So of course when they offered to send these to me, I was like, hell yeah. But mine are in the old colour system, which they have changed, and as promised I will explain this to you guys. So let me pull out a pen that I'm going to understand the new system on. So what you're going to see is the colour number B415 and the name Stormy Night, and this beginning letter is the colour family. I've lost it, hang on. So obviously we are blue. The middle number, behave camera, behave, be good. The 4 is the colour saturation level. Each pen has a series of levels from 0 to 9, and for any set of colours, if you pick the same colour depth, they blend well together, if that makes sense. So you know, you've got like a 4 and a 5 there, so they're similar and close in depth is the idea, whereas like a 1 to a 4, that's quite a jump, and vice versa. From the way that I understand it is kind of how that would work. So obviously you won't want to blend a 0 with a 9. And then the last 2 digits represent the brightness of colour, and this is divided in 17 levels, and it goes from 0 to 16, and the larger the number, the darker the colour. So obviously this is a 15, so it's quite a dark colour. There are 16 levels, so that's almost your darkest blue. Pull out a, here we go, a blue violet. So the saturation level is a 3 and the colour brightness is a 15. I'm learning this as well, guys. I'm doing my best. So if that makes sense to you guys, I hope that has helped. As much as I understand it. So in your new kit you get swatch chart, pack of pens, little bag for them to go in. Obviously, if you are new to alcohol markers, when you store this away, you must store them on their side. Alcohol markers do not like to be kept one side or the other. Keeping them flat like that keeps the alcohol ink distributed and stops your nibs drying out and being destroyed. You're getting one Honolulu Ohuhu booklet. This has in it all about the Ohuhu markers, the different tips that, wow, what is my thing with chips? Tips that they do. So Honolulu S is a brush and soft chisel. Honolulu B is the brush and fine tip. Honolulu Plus is the new Supreme brush and chisel. I've not had these or tried these, but apparently these are incorporating they're like a Copic marker tip, which is like alcohol marker speak for super fancy. Honolulu is brush and chisel. Oahu is chisel and fine. Crikey. Molokai is extra wide. Carla B is slim, broad and mini brush. Carla is slim, broad and fine. And Manana is brush and large chisel. I'll be honest, I didn't even know they had that many different kinds. That explains the type. So you've got your brush tip, your Supreme fancy brush, mini brush, never seen one of those before. Chisel tip, don't like them, don't use them. The slim, broad tip, which I assume is the new... Nope, this is the new tip. Soft chisel is the new tip. Fine tip, large chisel and wide. First time I've cracked this open. You've got some Q&As. The new colour codes. Oh, I could have just looked there. The available colours in the Oahu series. Oh, I like this actually. You've got a reversible brush tip. So if you do knacker up one side, you can pop it out gently, push it back in the other way around. You can buy spare brush tips, I think, but I'll be honest, I've never changed a brush tip. Different colours in the different series here, so you can kind of compare, know what you've got, know what you're missing. And then we've got other languages. So that's your booklet. You do get a little plastic sleeve protector. This goes in between pieces of paper, lets you colour on without it going through. And for some people that like to blend, they find these are better than paper. These will hold the marker on top so that you've got longer to work with in like Amazon papers, whereas a piece of paper underneath, all the alcohol marker is going to soak through into the other papers. So this can help keep them wet. It's just a shame you always get like an A5 sheet, but these will work well for your little books, like a what's he called? My favourite guy in the little books. Your reptiloids and your... Why can I not remember his name for the life of me? Joshua Dunbar. Like, beautiful sizing. It's very important with these that you do wash them, or you're going to transfer alcohol marker between your pages, which you'll not be happy with. So that's the bump in there. And then, of course, I know you guys will want to see the colour swatch. This is a little bit all over the place. I'm sorry, this is the one it came with. This is quite a cardboardy kind of swatch sheet, so your colours will look slightly darker on this kind of paper. You've got some really nice pale tones, some nice darks, a little bit spotty. You've got a couple of greens, a couple of blues, you know, a couple of pinks and reds. Too many greys. This one is beautiful though. Collingwood grey, beautiful. Warm grey down there, but yeah. It's okay. My problem is I have a massive set to pull from, so obviously nothing ever really holds up to 320 pence. But you've got a nice little range to begin with beautiful nibs in the 60 set, if that's the size that you want. So the pen itself, if I move things, will it focus on me? Possibly. You've got this Honolulu S pen. Tells you which end is which. You've got the obvious brush that you usually have. These are beautiful looking brushes. And then you have this fancy new chisel tip that everybody's raving about. Look at the shape on that. You know, I've used them. They're nice. I will show you what I've created so far with them for the example for playing. Is a chisel tip like the end of the world for me? Not really. Obviously I have my big set, so I wouldn't necessarily feel the need for these. I just know you guys like to really be shown something before you purchase, so it's never a bad idea for me to do these videos for you, show you some real information, show you them, you know, the colours, what you're getting, what they look like. And my opinion is they are really nice markers. The Ohuhu markers are really nice markers. Prices tend to be a little bit crazy, and sometimes availability, like getting hold of these things nowadays, can be quite hard as they've become more and more popular. I'm assuming like that might just be an issue in the UK. Here they're quite difficult to get hold of. I do have this fun little book. I don't have many of these. I'm not really into this kind of colouring, but I did get this veggie fun book a little bit off by Soulful Nook. So that I could practice and play. Where's my page? Where are you? And this is what I did do. So hopefully it's not super dark on my camera, but what you'll see is, so the bushes, I've used a couple of different colours of alcohol marker green, and then I have stippled in acrylic paint pen over the top because I wanted to try that and see how that was like. That came out really well. Use your very plain 2 greens just to make a very simple frog, and then I am going to just adjust the exposure a little bit. Let's brighten this down so you can see the contrast. I've done this wood effect that turned out rather janky, but it's not the pen's fault. That's definitely my skill with an alcohol marker. All this is alcohol marker, all this is alcohol marker. I did looked up a stone technique in one of the marker pen books that I've been collecting that kind of shows you how to use stuff. I have just added a little bit of white there in a gel pen, but the rest is alcohol marker, just dark greys and greys layered up, and kind of love how they came out. And then of course the water is all alcohol marker except for the white. That is an acrylic paint pen. Sometimes you just gotta add a white acrylic paint pen over the top. Again, they're all just techniques I've been playing with out of different books for practicing with, and in fairness, it was super fun to do. This I did blend because I did want to try that. A couple of browns together, and they actually moved beautifully. You've got to remember, this is an Amazon print paper. They've stayed quite well within these chunky lines, and they have given, if I can bring that all the way in for you, like a really nice blend, which I don't often get with alcohol markers. It's not my forte. I'm not amazing at it. Like I said, I use them an awful lot, but to base pages rather than to be super creative with. The page has been fun so far. I've really liked playing. They're definitely nice markers. Price wise, I've no idea. They've changed so much, there's no point in putting prices in these videos. Let's be honest, you can very easily click on something and check out the price. This is obviously the array you're getting. You do get a colourless blender, and obviously people do use these a lot more than they used to for some of the fun techniques that people are using in these cosy colouring books, like kind of washing in patterns into their weave baskets and clothes and things like that. But yeah, I've enjoyed them, I've liked them. I will incorporate them into my alcohol set because they're Ohuhu, so why not? They're really nice colours, they've worked really well, they are beautiful. I just am an Ohuhu marker fan though, so it just depends where you fall on that. Not always a fan of the price nowadays, so you know, the sales for things like this, Prime Day is beautiful for things like this. Like I say, that might be a lot to do with the fact that I am in the UK and it can be trickier. But out of all the markers I have tried, it's not a billion, but I've tried quite a lot of the budget brands. I had the Touch New when they first came out, I had the Le Boucher, things like that, and you know, these are exclusively what I have kept and continue to use. And I have had my big Ohuhu set now for going on a good couple of years, and like I say, I don't cane them, I don't use them all the time, but I've marked and layered and based quite a lot of pages, done a lot of techniques with them, and they're going strong. So you know, they are a little bit money, but they can last you real well. And if you get yourself the one big set, you're kind of set for a good long time and sorted. I definitely, and I know this is, I'm not being judgmental here, you do you. I have a bookcase full of different sets of pencils, so I'm not telling you not to. But I personally, with what I use them for, have never felt the need to have lots of different sets and brands of markers. Especially because obviously my pencils, they're going to sit there forever, they'll be there when I need them. When I'm 80, if I want to use that pencil set, it's not really going to be a problem. Alcohol markers obviously do not live that life. They will dry out, they will, you know, essentially they have a shelf life on them. And because of that fact, I don't actually hoard alcohol markers, at least. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. As always, any questions, pop them in the comments down below and I will answer anything that I know. Hope this was helpful for you if you are looking at these, trying to pick, trying to decide. Like I say, that the tip, you know, if you use chisel an awful lot, it is beautiful, it is nice, you're going to get a little bit more out of it because of this new shape. Obviously you'll get the thin line, but then also the thinner, smoother stripe to it. But you know, you do you, people, you do you. I love them, I enjoy them, I use them, I'm glad to have the extras. I wouldn't have run out and bought this set because I have my set, if that makes sense. And if you've got a big set of alcohol markers that you love, you're never really missing out by not just grabbing the latest thing that is out and about. But if you're looking for a dynamic range of alcohol markers, they're going to last you well, they're going to wear up well, they're a nice set, you know, they're good, they're worth maybe investing a little bit in because they're nice quality and they last and they work well and the whole set performs well. You're not going to get a handful of dried out janky markers. I've always done well with the Ohuhu. And that is it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.